They were once stunning landmarks, but years of careless tourism left them damaged beyond recognition. These then and now photos show how tourists helped ruin what they came to see. Great Wall of China. The wall endures more than time. Graffiti, stolen bricks, and trampling tourists have battered its structure. Sections near Beijing see 10+ million visitors annually. Damage led to a 65,000-person daily cap at Badaling. But many less monitored parts are collapsing under the weight of overtourism. Duckbill, Oregon. Oregon's iconic Duckbill rock formation stood for millions of years, until 2016, when vandals toppled it. Ignoring fences, they claimed it was dangerous after a friend was injured there. Instead of respecting nature, they destroyed it, turning a beloved coastal landmark into a cautionary tale of selfish tourism. Koh Phi Phi, Thailand. Made famous by the beach, Maya Bay now reels under 4,000 daily tourists and 200 boats. Once a secluded paradise, it's plagued by crowds, trash, and noise. Damage to marine life forced temporary closures, but even after cleanup efforts, the bay struggles to regain its serenity amid ongoing overtourism. Mount Everest, Nepal. Once a remote and sacred peak, Everest now sees over 1,000 foreign climbers a year. The summit is littered with trash, human waste, and even bodies. Overcrowding has damaged trails, while trekking poles erode terrain. Mass tourism has transformed nearby Himalayan villages and scarred the mountain forever. Machu Picchu, Peru. Built for 1,000 residents, Machu Picchu now hosts up to 2,500 tourists daily. Foot traffic has worn down ancient stone paths, while overcrowding threatened its structure. Peru now enforces strict entry rules, yet the fragile citadel remains at risk, with double the footfall it was ever designed to support. Stonehenge, England. Stonehenge once allowed visitors to walk among its ancient stones, until damage fears led to fencing in 1978. Today, traffic noise, crowded coach tours, and summer solstice mobs mar the mystique. A £27.5 million visitor center opened in 2013 helps, but the quiet magic has long since faded from the experience. Antarctica. Once the planet's last untouched frontier, Antarctica welcomed over 100,000 visitors in a single season. Cruise ships and emissions now threaten its fragile ecosystems. With luxury tourism rising, critics warned that without strict limits, the continent's icy purity could melt under the weight of human curiosity. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Angkor Wat's ancient serenity has faded as crowds surged from 7,650 in 1993 to 800,000 in 2023. Tourists clamber over sandstone steps, brushing against fragile carvings. While ticket hikes aim to curb footfall, bottlenecks and selfie seekers have stripped this sacred temple of its once lost wonder mystique. Santorini, Greece. Santorini's postcard charm now draws overwhelming crowds. Cruise ships pour visitors into its narrow streets, displacing locals and transforming homes into rentals. Rising costs, environmental stress, and lost authenticity haunt the island. Visitor caps and cruise limits help, but the peace of Santorini is fading fast. Wedding Cake Rock, Australia. Wedding Cake Rock's striking white cliffs became Instagram famous in 2015, but the surge of tourists ignoring safety warnings forced its closure. Despite fines and fencing, thrill seekers still trespass for photos. Erosion has made the formation unstable, and it will remain closed until nature reclaims it entirely. Petra, Jordan. Carved into rose-colored cliffs, Petra dazzles millions, but its fragile sandstone suffers. Tourists ride donkeys up its steps, lean on ancient walls, and litter sacred ground. Though numbers have dropped in recent years, the impact endures. Conservation efforts now battle to preserve Jordan's archaeological jewel. Kuta Beach, Bali. Kuta Beach was once a pristine surfer's haven. Today, it's overrun by mass tourism, plastic waste, and coastal debris. Once famed for its sunsets and waves, Kuta now battles pollution that discourages swimming and surfing. As development booms, the natural beauty that made Kuta famous continues to erode under pressure. Teotihuacan, Mexico. Once sacred, Teotihuacan's pyramids faced erosion from millions of feet and reckless climbing. Vendors overwhelm the site, and crowds flood in during equinoxes. Thankfully, access to climb the pyramids has recently been banned to prevent further damage to one of Mexico's most iconic ancient treasures. Venice, Italy. Romantic Venice is buckling under tourist pressure. Cruise ships, foot traffic, and short-stay visitors have replaced artisans with fast food and trinkets. Rising waters and crumbling foundations compound the crisis. Tourist taxes and access limits now aim to preserve its fading magic before it's washed away for good. Galapagos Islands, Ecuador. From 1,000 tourists in the 1960s to over 270,000 in 2023, the Galapagos face mounting pressure. Overpopulation and tourism have strained fragile ecosystems and transformed towns into souvenir hubs. Once pristine, the islands now struggle with human impact, despite tighter regulations to protect unique wildlife. The Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. Giza's ancient pyramids still inspire awe, but modern intrusions have marred the magic. Aggressive vendors, fast food joints, and shabby apartments encroach on the historic plateau. Though a new visitor center aims to improve the scene, many leave feeling the timeless wonder is clouded by chaotic surroundings. Taj Mahal, India. A monument to eternal love, the Taj Mahal now wrestles with overwhelming tourism. Huge crowds, relentless hawkers, and strict time limits disrupt the experience. Once a peaceful place of reflection, the site's charm has eroded under the pressure of millions vying for the perfect photo and a piece of its magic. The Acropolis, Greece. Athens' iconic Acropolis has endured centuries of wear, but modern tourism hastened its decline. Over 23,000 daily visitors once eroded steps and structures. Extensive restoration was slowed by economic crisis. But now capped at 20,000 per day, efforts aim to preserve the Parthenon's faded grandeur for future generations. The Sistine Chapel, Vatican City. Michelangelo's masterpiece draws millions, but the reality often disappoints. Long lines, packed halls, and neck-craning crowds dull the awe. The collective breath and body heat of visitors have damaged the 500-year-old frescoes, prompting conservation concerns about preserving Vatican City's most iconic ceiling. Valley of the Kings, Egypt. Tourist crowds and stale air once threatened King Tutankhamun's tomb, discovered in 1922. In 2014, a full replica was created to preserve the real chamber's fragile art. Though reopened with barriers and ventilation, the original suffered decades of damage from breath, touch, and constant foot traffic. Easter Island, Chile. Rapa Nui's Moai statues have drawn a tourism boom, but fame comes at a cost. Affordable flights and cruise visits threaten the fragile island ecosystem. Some tourists have vandalized the ancient statues, while overpopulation, waste, and cultural erosion weigh heavily on locals trying to protect their heritage. Uluru, Australia. Uluru's sacred silence has been cracked by tour buses, crowds, and roadside barbecues. Though climbing the rock was banned in 2019 out of respect for the Anang people, mass tourism still disrupts its spiritual ambiance. At sunrise and sunset, expect crowds jostling for photos instead of quiet reflection. Trevi Fountain, Italy. Once a serene stop in Rome, the Trevi Fountain now battles selfie sticks, crowds, and street vendors. Barriers and patrols aim to preserve its beauty, but intimacy has vanished. Instead of a quiet moment with history, visitors find a frenzied scramble for photos amid an ever-churning tourist scene. Halong Bay, Vietnam. Halong Bay's dramatic cliffs once promised adventure, but now is packed with junk boats, plastic waste, and vendors. Tourists hoping for natural tranquility are often disillusioned by polluted waters and commercial chaos. Despite its beauty, this UNESCO site is losing its charm to relentless overdevelopment. Cozumel, Mexico. Cozumel was a quiet gem until cruise ships turned it into the world's second busiest port. With nearly 4 million visitors annually, coral reefs suffer from rising temperatures and pollution. Cruise tourists produce far more waste than locals, threatening the island's fragile ecosystems and once pristine diving spots. Dubrovnik's Old Town, Croatia. Game of Thrones fame turned Dubrovnik's Old Town into a tourist magnet. With cruise crowds, Airbnbs displacing locals, and UNESCO threatening delisting, the medieval gem is overwhelmed. Visitor caps have since been introduced, but the historic streets still struggle to breathe under the weight of mass tourism. Kerala backwaters, India. Kerala's peaceful canals now buzz with houseboats crowding the waterways. Once used quietly by locals, the backwaters face pollution from boat fuel and tourist litter. Alleppey's beauty is overshadowed by choked roots and careless dumping, threatening this fragile ecosystem and its traditional way of life.